Okay, so I assessed Bryce's schema on the brain when I emailed Brother Wilson a couple weeks ago about it. But in my lesson, we will cover the terms of neocortex, brainstem, cerebellum, cerebrum, frontal lobe, temporal lobe, occipital lobe, parietal lobe, motor cortex. And then we will also cover the amygdala, different nerve cells, and the neuron components, as well as the hippocampus. While teaching these terms, we will also be building a brain from Play-Doh. My prototype is the poster that I displayed in my ad. Bryce's job is to use correlational research to show he understands the different parts of the brain and how they work together. His psychomotor domain will be shown with how advanced he is, with how he handles the Play-Doh and how he creates the brain. His cognitive domain will be shown while learning the brain terms. I'm hoping that his trait and state anxiety will be centered towards facilitating anxiety rather than debilitating. Hopefully I'm not making him nervous, especially with proximity. When we do the next experiment dealing with smells, I will be assessing if Bryce has positive or negative transfer, meaning I taught the brain terms with positive or negative instances. I will try my best to not teach misconceptions. I hope that when I teach him about the brain and how it attaches smells to memories, that with the way I teach his inhibits his mastery learning. I'm curious to see if he reacts better to informational or control language. Usually most men teach with control language and most women teach with informational. I'll be playing with that a bit to see which one he reacts better to. I hope that neither of us have contagious behaviors, whether they're because of anxiety or just little traits that we do. I hope that none of those contagious behaviors will influence us negatively. And then we will also talk about the simplified memory system, which contains the sensory register, the working or short-term memory, and the long-term memory. We'll talk about those to see where he's at. My anxiety is going to be a bit high because, in general, just because I'm not super comfortable with teaching quite yet, but I'm hoping that his self-efficacy will be higher than mine, and maybe it'll be, like I said, a contagious behavior that helps to raise mine in a positive way. I'm hoping that when we do the experiment where he's smelling different things, there will be some hot cognition so that he can write down the memories that the smells remind him of. That's the whole purpose of the experiment. So I'm going to make sure that I don't give too much scaffolding in any of the experiments where I don't create learned helplessness or even extinction, which can happen when too much learned helplessness is there. Hopefully I can help eliminate any prior personal theories that he has about the brain and about smelling and about memories. And by the end, I'll kind of give like an oral quiz to assess what he's learned, and I'll try and use questions based on the different levels of Bloom's taxonomy. That quiz will also be able to assess for decay of the brain terms, and hopefully it will be able to really smoothly refer back to the brain that we created. And that is the plan of my lesson.